And this is Karen for Online Healing Community. Welcome to Creating Space. And today we're going to talk about how to stop judging you. And joining us from Beirut, Lebanon is Access Consciousness Certified Facilitator, Junaline.
Hello!
Hi, Junaline. Hello. It's
How are
finally nice to
you?
talk to you live.
Yes,
Welcome
me
to Creating
too.
Space.
Oh, thank you. I'm looking forward to creating that space.
Yeah. You know what? I've been fangirling. Like, I always see you on Facebook. You'd go on live inspired by Junaline, and then you'll do energy pools, and then you'll do out of control sessions. And I'm in all of your groups. So it's so nice to talk to you live like this. Thank you so much for saying yes.
Thank you so much, Karen. Thank you. Let's party.
Yes, let's party. And so let's get the ball started. But first, let's define terms, Junaline. What
Yeah.
is judgment?
Well, what are you aware of? For you, what is judgment? I want to know. Hi, Giancarla.
Hi, Gian. For me, judgment feels like cobwebs when I enter a room
Yeah.
and I feel people judging me. It feels like I'm claustrophobic. I couldn't breathe, and it feels
Yeah.
like the room is full of cobwebs. That's what it feels like to me.
So something that is not true.
Yeah.
Yeah, something that is not true. Well, it's very interesting actually because judgments, when we talk about judgment, it feels like we're talking about something negative, isn't it? Like when
Yes.
it's judgment. But actually, judgment is also positive. Judgment is positive and negative. If I say you are pretty, that's a positive judgment.
Hmm.
Yes.
So
So
there's a
judge
positive judgment.
a
That's
positive
interesting.
judgment is you are pretty, you look good. Because that's my judgment, that's how I see you, that's my opinion of you, that's my point of view of you, that is my judgment in a way, like
Yes.
when we talk about, okay, like you have a good judgment of somebody's personality. It's like how you
Yes.
determine something is really like your judgment of it. So it doesn't necessarily mean negative, right, or nothing
Mm-hmm.
bad or heavy, but also there is that judgment we're talking about, like the question that the topic that we're talking about here is like how to stop judging you, in that case where the judgment is turned into something that does not contribute to our well-being, like it's limiting
Right.
us, it's heavy, it feels like it diminishes us. That's the kind of judgment that is very prevalent, that what we know of in this reality, isn't it? That kind of judgment.
Yes.
Yeah. So for me, that's judgment. That's when we talk about this judgment we're talking about on the show, is
Mhm.
yes, that the lies, the lies that have been perpetrated against you, what you can be. It's like all the things, all the projections and expectations that have had on you by people. And then you start believing that,
Right.
right? We start believing, especially the negative
Right.
ones, especially what we
Yes.
call negative,
Yes. Yes.
right? So this is when that judgment, that's, I guess that's what judgment looks like what you were describing
Yeah.
about these cobwebs.
Right. And you said that judgment, if it's a negative judgment or if these judgments are lies, then it limits us. What? How does judgment limit one person?
If it's a negative judgment, because when you start believing it, you make it your reality. Like it's like your point of view of you, or somebody's point of view of you, when you buy it, when you believe it, you make it like it's real. You buy it like it's a truth when in fact it's not. It's
Right.
just somebody else's point of view, or something, like some kind of energies that were just prevalent, like from this lifetime or the lifetimes before that, whatever programming we had bought on the unconscious and subconscious level. So we start believing something that might not necessarily be true for us, but because maybe it's in our head, or it's in our environment, in the family, they say this about you, da da
Right.
da da da,
Right.
then you start believing it, and then you start actually judging you for whatever that is. It's like, and the thing is, we have this tool in access consciousness that I love. It's like, who does this belong to? in order for you
Mm-hmm.
not to buy whatever judgment that's going on, or whatever judge, even your judgment of you,
Yes.
what if it's like, who does it belong to? Or an interesting point of view. What if everything is just an interesting point of view, including what you are calling a judgment? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Interesting point of view.
Yes. Have you heard of it? This,
Yeah, interesting.
yeah.
I felt like it. I felt it's very allowing when I say interesting point of view. And I was with Gian just last week, and she said that allowance is like when you're a rock in the stream, and then things flow, and you just allow things to flow. I'm not sure if I got it correctly.
Mm, yeah. So it's a different energy than saying allowing things to flow. Being in total allowance versus allowing things to flow. It's like being in total allowance. It also empowers you to have your own opinion. It doesn't mean you're like accepting everything,
Right.
and you can have what you say about it. But it's like not so much aligning and agreeing, or resisting and reacting to. It's like there's none of that reaction. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it's interesting. It's like, when you're a tourist, you're seeing
Yes.
something for the first time. Wow, that is so cool. Like,
Right.
because it's something new. It's like, or something different. What if something different is just interesting, you know?
Mm.
Yeah. And but
So
it's but we are so programmed in this reality, like to resist and react. Oh, no, 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 I don't like that. Or, oh, yes, 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 yes. So what's really interesting, one of my former gurus in the past, when I used to
right.
when I used to do yoga, he said that, praise and criticism are the same.
Wow. Praise and
Yeah,
criticism are the same.
it's the same energy. You react to that. The energy
Oh.
of it, the energy of reaction, or the energy that the charge, like whether I praise you, oh, you're so great, you're so pretty. It's like anything that does not seem that matches that kind of positive judgment, you will resist and react to it, or you will
Yes.
align and agree to that. I'm like, yes. And then therefore anything beyond that, you cannot see something that's opposing that judgment. And if I say, oh, you are this and that, and then you're gonna resist and react, it's like it's gonna take so much energy and effort to defend yourself or to agree with it. So it's that kind of energy. You're like,
Right.
it's like effort, whether you're being
Yes.
praised or whether, yeah. So it's like, what would it take to be in total allowance? So now the energy and asking the question of what would it take to be in total allowance is like, okay, neither this nor that, just interesting. I can say my
Point of
opinion
view.
about it, but I'm not vested in my own point of view even. But that's a practice. That's a practice.
Wow.
That's a daily practice. I'm not saying I'm perfect about that, but it's like something that I have to keep in mind and be mindful about. Yeah.
It's
Allowance of
it's like a
myself.
space of no judgment.
Yes, you're right. What would it take to be the space of no judgment? And that space, to me, is allowance. It's like, whatever choices you make, you don't judge it. So I want to share this example actually yesterday,
Mhm.
because it's like like I said, it's a constant practice for me. It's a constant
Yes.
mindfulness practice about non-judgment of me. Yesterday, I bought something, and I bought something that I feel like I regretted buying it right after I bought
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
And there's no way I could refund it or return it. He didn't want to take it. I said, okay. And then I
Yes.
started judging myself so many ways, like, oh, I should have researched more about this product. Oh, I should have waited and look at other places. Oh, yeah. And oh no, my husband paid for it. It takes so much
Right.
money. So all these kinds of things that I was calculating that particular incident. And actually, it took me about a couple of hours thinking about judging that choice, judging what I did, that I bought something that I didn't like. I know
Right.
it's simple, it's a simple example, but how many times actually in one day that we say, I should not have, I, I, yeah, oh my God, I did that.
Yes.
Oh no, what is he gonna say? Okay, oh, that's so stupid of me. What's wrong with me? Why do I do that all the time? You know what I mean? Like
Right.
all those things, even something simple as that I did like yesterday, like I bought something that I regretted. But
Right.
it's like, okay, I start working on myself, asking questions. Okay, June, what would it take for you to just let go of this energy now? There's nothing you can do about it, because sometimes it's like about controlling. It takes so much of the energy of your mind. You're like ruminating and da 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 da. I'm like
Yes.
blaming, regretting, feeling guilty, and all of that. And your energy goes there. You waste your time when you can
And
be
you
doing.
waste your energy.
Yes, and your
Yeah.
body starts reacting, diba? Like you get
That's
stressed.
true. That's
You
true.
get
It's
stressed.
the
So
should haves and the must haves that we should do. And you know what? I really
yeah,
don't like other people judging me, and I can sense it. But over time, what I realize is I'm the first one judging me. Like with your story.
yeah.
Like I thought like, oh, I don't like, I kind of sense that other people don't like me, and I don't like that they don't like me. But I feel it's my judgment. But I'm the first one judging myself. Why does it matter to you? What have you made so vital about it? And I was thinking, it's me. I'm the first one judging me.
Yeah. That's so true, though. We are our best judges of ourselves.
Yeah.
But also recognize, like, it's good to acknowledge that. It's like, what would it take to change that, right?
Right. Right.
Most people don't acknowledge that they judge themselves. They always blame it on others, right? There's always the blame, the shaming, and, on all kinds of things. It's like you are putting outside of you. But there are some people like you who would acknowledge that. And what in access consciousness is people like you and me that judge ourselves a lot. It's called humanoids. We're called humanoids in that way.
Mm-hmm.
um, but what would it take to acknowledge that and then ask, okay, what would it take to change this?
To change
We don't
this.
have to stay there. I think the most important thing is when you acknowledge something like that, hey, I have a choice. I don't have to stay judging myself.
True, true. You always have a choice. But for you, when did you first realize that, hey, I can stop judging myself? And when did you acknowledge that, wait, I'm the first one judging me?
Yeah. Are you talking about from many years ago? Or
Well,
just
I'm sure.
yesterday? It's actually like to be honest, it's been something, and I really like that the invitation that you have for me for this show, because it was something that I had been working on in my personal development journey.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's why I got into personal development and self-development and healing and kinds of things like that, because then I realized all I'd been doing all these years and thinking something was wrong with me and seeking something better because something was wrong with me. I
Mhm.
was judging myself for like, what's wrong with me? I did that. Oh my God, didn't work out. My relationship. Oh, I had another heartbreak. How many more times am I gonna be single in life? Or
Totally can relate to that. Judger too.
judger, yeah. So at one point, I'm like, there's got to be something other than, like, I think with all the soul searching that I'd done in my youth, and
Mhm.
all the whatever mistakes, you learn from all of them. And
Yes.
then actually, it wasn't until I discovered the tools of access consciousness that
Mhm.
I got out of that bubble, like
Mhm.
completely, not completely, maybe 80%. I'm, like I said, I'm a work in progress.
Yes.
But it's more allowance of me. I have more of allowance of me. So when I did that yesterday, so like, let's say, like, going back to yesterday, I'm like, okay,
Yes.
all right, interesting point of view. I had this point of view about me, okay? Like,
Mhm.
because I started judging the person too, that like, oh, he
Oh,
wouldn't do
yes.
this. Why is he being an asshole? Like, he wouldn't get a refund. I don't know why. Like, he's overpricing, like this, charging like too much in Lebanon when I can get it on Amazon at this, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So it's like, okay, interesting point of view, June. All of that, tung, tung, all that bubbles of povs. Okay, interesting point of view. I made it up. I was starting to make up a story already. It's like, what if they're not true? Actually, that's another question. What if that's not true? What if the opposite is actually true as well? What if everything that I'm,
Right.
yeah, it's like, okay, there's an interesting point of view. I have this point of view, interesting point of view. He has that point of view.
Oh, I think we have to read this out. Gian is saying, yeah, I used to think there needs to be something that needs fixing in me. And Padan Pak all that. Interesting point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't need to be fixed. Because I also went through that. Like I need to fix this and this one and this one, and it's never ending fixing of yourself, never ending therapy even.
Yeah, actually, it's a very interesting point of view, isn't it? That we need to be fixed as if we are suggesting we are broken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you know that a great metaphor comes to mind in Japanese culture. I used to live in Japan.
Mhm.
So I'm
Wow,
very,
you've been going around the world.
I am a, recovering expat. So I'm finally settled in Lebanon. But anyway, I'll tell you about that in a minute.
Yeah.
So in Japanese culture, there is this idea called kintsugi. I don't know if you've heard of it. Kintsugi is like finding beauty in the cracks. So in Japanese pottery, they revere cracks when they make this Japanese pottery. The more there's broken or cracked, the more aesthetic it is. And
Mm-mm.
they will put gold, they will design something to make that like, not to highlight it, but to enhance that crack or whatever that
Yes.
is. Yes, kintsugi, like Marielle said. Yeah. And I love that. That's one of, actually, I would say that living there really influenced and inspired me to become, who I am.
Yeah.
The culture and the Japanese way of living. I dabbled into Buddhism as well when I used to live there, and so
Mm-hmm.
all of that, like this seeing beauty in the whatever you call mundane or whatever your judging is as ugly or as not good enough is actually beautiful.
Mm.
It's
Can you
just an,
answer this? In that,
yeah,
since we're talking about judgment,
yeah.
Angie's asking, how can I stop judging my pandemic body? Tumaba ako sobra. Haha.
What is pandemic body? First of all, can you please tell me what pandemic body is first?
Well, she said that she got fat this
Is that a
pandemic.
pandemic body? Some pandemic bodies maybe lost weight. I don't know. Is that your pandemic body? What have you been judging as a pandemic body? What is that judgment of that body? Is that your
Mm-hmm.
judgment? Is that yours?
Yeah, true. Who does this
Angie?
belong to?
Yeah, and you know what's very interesting, because we're all energetic beings. When we buy points of views of people, when we start believing it, um, the energy of that, the molecules of that thoughts, feelings, and emotions, they solidify. Baby girls, they solidify. They come to you. They stick to you. So I've worked a lot with like women who wanna change their bodies and their lives or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and using energy work alone, using let's say access bars or whatever I used to actually do as a theta healing instructor before, is like energy changes the body. Energy work, because your thoughts, feelings, and emotion, they're molecules, and they get
Mm-hmm.
solidified, and you can liquefy
Yes.
them. If you don't believe anymore, actually it's the belief that makes them solid.
Yes.
So once you let go, I'm like, ask, okay, how much more degree can I change this molecule? You can turn that molecule 1 degree more, 1 degree more. What would it take to change that? And it will just melt slowly and slowly. And a lot of people that join my energy pools, the series, the 21-day program, especially the one that I
Mm-hmm.
created last year, the 21 days to miraculous body energy pools, they lost
Mm-hmm.
weight without thinking of it, without being conscious of it, because it's
Mm-hmm.
changing the mindset, about changing the points of views. So first of all, what is a pandemic body? Whatever you decided a pandemic body is, that's what's going to be created, right?
Yes. Yes.
Just because we're at home, we're eating all the time, this all
Mm-hmm.
these thoughts created that particular pandemic body or whatever that pandemic body is that you are calling. Yeah. So what would it
Mm,
take to change that? What if it's not a pandemic body anymore? What if it's your body that you want to create? What does your body want to
yes.
create? Have you ever thought of it? Have you ever asked your body
What what so we can ask our body what it wants to create.
what it wants to look like, even? Yes. Not,
Wow.
yeah, because you know your mind thinks like you should look like, I don't know who, Kim Kardashian or something, whatever, like that. Okay,
Yes.
but sometimes your body will like, no, no, wait a minute. We feel
No,
comfortable
Angie
being this
saying my
way.
body wants health and a slim frame.
Great. So ask your body, show me how we can create this. What action can we take together? So from now on, I would encourage Franny, Angie,
Angie.
Angie, to ask your body every day, body, what do you require? Does your body require to eat 3 times a day? Does your body
Mhm.
even require to, okay, go for these fad diets? Like, what
Yes.
if you didn't have any judgment of what you're choosing to eat, to wear, um, to nurture your body with? What would that create, I wonder?
Yeah. You ask a lot of questions, Junaline.
Yes, and this is what I love about not just access consciousness, but actually, this is one of the things I do as a life coach. I'm an empowerment coach. So I
Mhm.
started off like that. I used to be a teacher who did not ask questions, who just told students what to do. And then things changed. I realized that, wow, there's much more possibilities when you ask questions. Really, you know what I mean? Like, you're not limited to one kind of ideology or belief system. It's like, no, it's like, wow, the universe is pregnant with possibilities and, I guess, answers, if you say so. Yeah, there's so many ways, there's a gazillion ways to have and do and receive what it is
Yeah.
that you would like in life, right? So the
Yes.
questions, there's a magic to a question only if it's a true question, not
Mm-hmm.
a statement with a question at the end, okay? Because the
Mm-hmm.
statement with a question at the end is like already an answer because you already
Yeah.
know the answer. But a true question is like, when a child asks a question,
Mm-hmm.
it's like curious, in awe, and yet the child knows that he or she will receive that answer, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm. So curiosity is the answer. And you talk about possibilities. And in one of your FB lives, you talk about turning judgment into possibilities.
Yeah. So, what would it take for you to, whatever judgment, whether that's positive or negative, to see it as a possibility, to see it as, I guess I would use the word opportunity, to see something else other than what it is? So what is there? What else is possible that I haven't considered? If I didn't judge myself or I didn't judge my choices, what else could be possible here? Right? Oh, it's muted.
Yes,
Am I
what else
muted?
is
Oh, okay.
possible? A lot of access consciousness people ask that question a lot of times. And my sister always asks me, why is that? Why does everybody ask that question? What else is possible? What's with that question?
Yeah, what's with that question? It's a question that I know it's a very it's very common. People that are taking access consciousness classes and stuff, but it's actually just really a very pragmatic and energetic question. It's like, by asking what else is possible, it's an invitation for you not to just, okay, this just happened. It will always happen like this. She's always like that. Oh, he never does this. It gets you out of those kind of conclusions and also those judgments. If I say to myself, I'm always like this, and I had this judgment about myself, I am lazy, And I said, okay, I'm lazy because I take my time in creating something. I'm not one of those people that can like do things very fast. I used to
Yeah.
compare myself like that. But then like through self work, through whatever that is that I was creating, it's like, wait a minute, I'm done buying this story. Actually, this is all lies. I create when I can create because this is my energy, this is my talent, this is my ability, this is how I do things.
Yes.
I will never be like you, you'll never be like me, but that's great because we are all creators of magnitude with different unique abilities and unique contribution and gifts. What
Yes.
if we actually start acknowledging the differences, not the wrongness? What if it's not wrong? What if it's just different? And that's great.
Yeah.
Diba?
Love that. I love
Meme!
that.
That's a memeable.
Meme. Yeah. Angie has another question. Can you please say more about shifting just one molecule of judgment in
Yes, just ask that.
ourselves?
Yeah. Great
Thank
question,
you, Angie.
Angie. I like your name, Frangipani. Isn't that like an orchid?
Yes.
Um, just ask. Just ask that one molecule to turn. Diba? It's like just like that. It's like, okay, right, one more molecule, one degree. Okay, just change it, just change it, just change it, just turn it. You can just ask that. You don't even have to visualize it because actually by asking it's already an energy. It's already
Yes.
an energy that is sending this vibration of your request. It's like, okay, I'm going to change this. What would it take to change this? So, not having to go scientific about a molecule and, like, you can visualize it, of course, but yes, what would it take to change that one molecule of judgment? Just one molecule. It creates. Doesn't have to be all of it.
Follow-up question. Turn right or left? Or basta turn. You're funny,
If you're
Angie.
right handed, turn left. If you're left handed, turn right.
But can you tell us more about access consciousness? Because you're sharing with us this access consciousness tools. And what's coming up for me is these are all easy tools.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not rocket science.
Mic drop. Easy. Ease, joy, and glory. Why wouldn't you choose a life filled with ease? We are
Yeah.
so programmed in this life, in this reality, that in order to change and to have that change you're seeking for, you have to go through so much. I
Yes.
mean, it's part of it, right? It's part of it. It's part of the transformation that we're asking for. It's not going to be it's not going to be comfortable all the time, but there are certain schools of thought that you know that 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 say that, okay, yeah, it's not going to be easy. Life is not easy. Oh my God,
So
life is
that's a
not easy.
conclusion, right? When you say life is not easy, you make it solid.
Yeah, and it's a
Is that
judgment
right?
too,
Is that
right? It's a very heavy judgment. It's a conclusion. It's a judgment. It's
mm-hmm.
already. It's a projection. It's
Mm-hmm.
impelling a point of view. So when you start thinking life is not easy, guess what? You're going to actually call in the energies that will make life not easy for you.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, we actually just have this, just a choice. Would you like an easy
Yes.
life or not easy? Would you like a life filled with ease or would you like a life filled with pain, gore, and suffering? Or drama and trauma? And most people actually like their drama and trauma for some reason, whatever that reason is.
Mm-hmm.
Makes them important, makes them significant,
Mm-hmm.
um, makes them like, oh, there's a reason to live. There's
Yes.
meaning. Yes, there's a meaning.
Mm-hmm.
When I am the martyr, I have a meaning in life. I'm saving everybody. I'm saving you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What will it
So,
take for more people to choose a life of ease, joy, and glory?
great question.
Yeah.
And actually, you can start with yourself. What would
Yeah.
it take for me to live that ease, a life filled with ease, joy, and glory?
Ease and glory.
I love this mantra of access consciousness. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. So, for those of you
Mm-hmm.
who don't know it, it's just like that. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. And you can
Yeah.
say it how many times as a mantra so that it becomes this magic wand, like all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. There's something very, very magical about that particular mantra, actually. Because you
Mm-hmm.
know what? No matter what's going on outside, out there in the real world, what's the war, the terrorism, the corruption, you know, whatever, heartbreaks or whatever that is, financial,
Mm-hmm.
techie reality, it's like you are not at the effect of that. You recognize it, you're aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean you're stupid and you're like, life is like, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in heaven. No, you're also aware, but you can receive it all with ease and joy
Mm.
and glory, which is the expression of exuberance.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like being in a total allowance, being an interesting point of view of every point of view, including your own point of view,
Yeah.
especially your own point of view about you. Again,
Yes.
then we go back into this how to stop judging you is to
Mm-hmm.
actually be an interesting point of view of you. What if you are an
Yeah.
interesting point of view to you?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever thought about that? Have you decided you are this and this and this and this and whatever you want to be this and this and this, or I was this and this and this, therefore I will also be this and this and this? Okay, interesting point of view. What would
So
it
the
take for you?
answer to stopping judgment of me is allowance, total allowance. And the tool is interesting point of view.
One of the tools you can ask yourself, yes, is
Yeah, interesting
interesting
point
point
of
of
view.
view. I have this point of view, and I
Mm-hmm.
would I would invite you to actually do 1 month of it.
Interesting point of view. 1 month. And you know,
Yes,
I would just
one
like
month
to
of it,
be
interesting point of
right.
view of me. Start
Yeah.
with
And
you,
me.
because
Interesting point
it's
of view. I have this point of view of me. And just
yes,
keep on
interesting
asking
point of
that
view. Yeah,
question.
whatever. Okay, let's say Angie is talking about her pandemic body. Interesting point of view. I have that point of view.
Hmm. And you just ask it every day for a month.
Yes, yes. You can ask it. You can ask for whatever thought, feeling, and emotion you have about you.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, if you're feeling sad, oh, interesting point of view. Who does it belong to? You can add who does it belong to too, because you're when you ask that question, who does it belong to? You don't take on somebody's or something or whatever point of view that's just lurking there, and like you suddenly pick it up. So who does it belong
Yes.
to? Interesting point of view. Interesting point of view. So you know what? I did that interesting point of view last night after buying this product that I could not return. Interesting point of view, interesting point of view, interesting point of view. What would it take for me to be interesting point of view about of all of this? So the thing is, we judge our choices all the time. So for me, what worked is like
Yes.
interesting point of view. I was judging that particular choice. What if I didn't judge that choice? It was just a choice. And my husband was really great. He says, like, okay, you bought it. It's fine. Nothing you can do about it. He's not going to do this. Nothing's going to change. So what are you going to do about it?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh yeah, not everything is within our control too. So it's like when you go an interesting point of view, you actually dissipate that energy, that kind of control to this particular thought, this particular point of view you have, that you are right, or that
Yes.
that they are wrong, or you are wrong and they are right. So this polarity, it like the question interesting point of view is like interesting. Okay, interesting point of view. It's like
Yeah.
turning this cup. This is a
Yes.
different point of view. If I turn this one, is another point of view for you, looking at
Yes.
you. And this one is another point of view. You see this design. And then if I turn this one,
Yes.
you'll see this, or maybe you'll see that, or
Yeah.
maybe you'll see my hand. So what if we see our thoughts, feelings, and emotions like that? You don't even have to believe your own thoughts, feelings, and emotions about you or about anyone
Mm.
else.
Love
Yeah.
that. You don't have to believe your own thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Just interesting point of view.
You know
And
what? That's what will that create is space. Space for
yeah.
literally space, and metaphorically space, and energetically space for you. So it's like, wow, you didn't have to waste your time and energy with all these thoughts, feelings, and emotions, the drama and
Mhm.
the trauma.
Yeah.
What can you create with you, with your life, when you're
Yeah.
living?
And
You
what
would rather.
happens? What happens if you create a lot of space for you?
Let me ask you that. Your program is called Creating Space. What has it created for you?
I'm actually just blown away with how things are happening for me right now. I I'm just so in awe. Like I'd move from one right now. I'm moving from one place to another, and a lot of opportunities come up without me sending a proposal because I'm very hardworking. Really, like I can work 16 hours nonstop, and I could send proposals and all that. But now things are coming to me without me working hard for it. That's what
Yeah,
space brought up
yeah,
for me.
yeah,
And you talk about life with ease, joy, and glory. It's not specifically very happy. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of other things that's coming on, but you can just navigate it. Allow it to flow, and then like you said, interesting point of view. These things are happening. I have this interesting point of view of myself. And it's yeah, it's such an easier and joyful life.
yeah. That's great. So this is what creating space means for you.
Mm-hmm.
So when creating space is this, it's like more possibilities, more contribution, more of the things that you actually desire for your life, whatever that may be. So instead of wasting time on a fixed point of view, a judgment of you, a limiting belief that you've like replayed again and again and nothing is changing, whew, what would it take to change that? And what energy, space, and consciousness can you create? Now is the time, now is the space. Space is not empty either. You wanted to say
Yeah.
something?
And I agree with you. Space creates possibilities
Yeah. Space
for
is,
us.
yeah, space is actually like, it's not a vacuum. Space is the source of
Mm-hmm.
possibilities.
Mm. Yeah.
Space.
Yeah.
Hi,
And on
Jan.
that note, I would like to echo what Gian is saying. Thanks. Yay, EJG. Thanks, Junaline. So much more space shows up in my world. How does it get any better than that?
You're
And I
welcome.
felt like even this conversation is
Yeah.
creating a lot of space for everybody listening in right now and for everybody else listening in the future. But we only have a few more minutes with you, and before we close, we'd like to can you please tell us how our audience, the people listening to you, can get in touch with you and can connect with you?
Invite me to your countries.
Yes, please. Come here to the Philippines.
Or come to Lebanon. Come visit me here.
Yeah, we can do that too.
Yes. So you can find me. I have on actually I'm on social a lot. So I have a business page, Facebook, Facebook page, personal page, Junaline Bañez-Moussi. I welcome everybody to be my friend. Please friend me. Also, I have a business page where I go do my weekly. Thank God it's Friday lives. It's called Life Inspired with Junaline. Thank you so much, online healing community, for posting it there. Life Inspired with Junaline. So I go live there every Friday. I also have some free groups on Facebook that you can join in the parties. I have the Out of Control Clearing Fiesta. And if you don't know what that is, you have to just join it. We do clearing there on occasion, on some months, okay, but it's free to join. I also have Global Energy Pools Facebook group, free to join. Again, we have so much content there from since 2017. You can watch videos of different energy pools for whatever you require it for, I don't know, money, relationships, creation, etc., etc. Also, I am on Instagram, Life Inspired Junaline on Instagram, and also my other business, Life Inspired Possibilities. But I'm more on Life Inspired Junaline. I engage with people there more, so please find me there. And of course, there's my website www.junaline.com. It's a one name. It's like Beyonce, Madonna. That's it.
I
It's-
heard that. I heard Daniel asked you, like, how potent are you that you can have a Junaline.com? How powerful are you to have, like, you're the
you
only Junaline in the whole world.
I don't know. I'm the only journaling that I know of me, but yes.
Yeah. And Angie saying, Junaline, you're a lovely goddess of consciousness. Thank you so much
Hey
for being
Angie, have we
here.
met before, Angie? Did you come to our groups before?
Giancarlo is saying, love it. Let's wait for
I love
Angie.
you, Angie. A jam,
Uh,
jam,
and
jam.
then, Lali, can you just post the other comments of the other people? Jen saying, always love your sessions, Junaline. So,
Oh, by the way, I want to also invite you to other creations. Yeah. So
yes,
I don't know if it's
please.
yeah okay. If you are a bars practitioner and you want to upgrade, and really learn hundreds of tools, body process too. You learn body processes. There is an Access Consciousness Foundation class. This is like it's taught by certified facilitators all over the world, live and online. So I happen to have one coming up in a day, March 3rd. So whatever you're choosing, you are welcome. It's from actually for 4 days, 9:30 to 5:30 p.m. Beirut time. So it's a good time for all of you in Asia and the Philippines. So if you like to choose it, you can choose it. I don't know if we have it there, but it's on my website. And also, I have some future creations. I'm also a Talk with the Entities facilitator, and we teach you about energies and entities in this class. And also, I have what is this? Money classes coming up. I don't have. We're still creating them with my team, but we have money classes coming up. And as well, I would like to also invite you to invite me because I'm a 3-day body class facilitator as well. So I will be traveling, and this requires traveling because it requires touching of bodies. And for that particular class, is an advanced access consciousness class. You'd have to have a foundation class as prerequisite in order to join a 3-day body class. And let me tell you, the beauty of a 3-day body class and having to attend it is something else beyond. We're using the body with 70 body processes, but it's like changing energies, changing your physical structure, changing your mindset, changing everything, even including your money flow. So 3-day body class, keep it in your awareness. Or maybe in your neighborhood in the Philippines this year. Who
Yes,
knows?
pretty soon. But Junaline, you're talking
Yeah.
about access consciousness classes. For those of you, for people who are not familiar with access consciousness, can you tell them more about it?
Yeah, so access consciousness is a set of tools, pragmatic and energetic tools. That's it. It's called access consciousness because it's about accessing your consciousness, accessing your awareness. And it was founded by Gary Douglas in the early 1990s. And it started off with this technique called access bars. So the access bars is a hands-on, energetic technique, or say technique or something, a process, where you get these 32 points, energetic points in the head. When you touch them lightly, dissipates all your limitations related to your hopes, dreams, your money, your relationship, your body. That dissipates that. So it's like an energetic life coaching in a way. You don't even have to say and talk about it. So it's a way of healing, it's a way of transforming, it's a way of changing. And that's basically like the base of an access consciousness um, way of way of life, basically. And access consciousness is actually because it's got many tools to change any area of your life. There are tools, there are questions, there are classes, there's energy work. So you can find out more about that on www.accessconsciousness.com. Yeah.
Can you I ask you what's the best gift that you receive from Access Consciousness? Because you're a facilitator for so many classes and you're using energy pools and these clearing sessions.
Yeah, what's the best gift? Actually, the best gift of Access Consciousness to me is the invitation to step up, to,
Mhm.
yeah, no more hiding, just to step up and really offer my gifts, whatever my gifts are to the world. To step up to my power and potency that I didn't claim before because I was always hiding, I was insecure, I was shy, or the judgments of blah, blah, blah. But yes, like the invitation to be like, okay, more, show up. And I literally do my best to show up too, but it's like, okay, what can I create today? It's like this. This actually what beauty for me is like that is to show up and create. Even if creating means resting or sleeping, that's creation. So that's the invitation of access to me. It's like really being me without calling it being me, but because everybody has a way to say, "Oh, I'm being me, being you," and that's fine. But for me, it's that claiming to my, whatever that I had forgotten. My
And
poem. My
the partner
poem.
for you, Andrea and I would talk about our what do you call this? What we feel about the people that we follow, and that's what we always say. Junaline just shows up every single time, even if Facebook blocks her, even if she doesn't get in the session. Whatever happens, she will be there. You
Yes, if there's
really
no
show up.
internet, I show up. Even if I had the corona, I had shown up.
Thank you for being consistent, really, and thank you
Thank you for
for
that.
being the space
I
that you
receive
are.
that. I receive it. Thank you so much for that. It's your encouragement that inspire me to show up.
Yeah.
It's your energy too. It's you and everyone that I'm co-creating with, online, in person, everybody that, yeah, it's very empowering and encouraging. I think that it's we are here to create this space, creating space.
And you're so generous, Junaline. You give energy pools, you give this clearing sessions, and you invite people from all over the world. It's really, really fun listening to us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for like all these creations and collaborations, and really just
Welcome.
this the generosity.
You're
So,
welcome.
last question before we end. What's your parting message for everybody, especially about stopping judging themselves?
Yeah. So actually, if you catch yourself judging yourself, ask yourself that question. If I didn't judge myself, what would be possible? What could be possible? What could I create if I stop judging myself? I wonder what else is possible that I haven't thought of. And yeah, so it's like, okay, what would it take to change this? To stop judging myself.
And then your home play for the whole month with Junaline is interesting point of view. I have this interesting point of view. Okay, that's the home play for the month. And let's see what opens up. Because
And
Junaline
yes, please
saying that, diba?
yes,
If
let
you
me.
stop judging, more opportunities and possibilities come up.
Yeah, even yeah, like stop judging your choices. What would it take to have peace and ease with your choices? It's okay. All right. Interesting choice. I made that. Didn't work to my advantage, but moving on. Moving right along.
Oh my gosh, would love to keep you, but we know you have other classes to attend to. So please go to junaline.com. How potent is that? Like Madonna, just one word. You see, you type it junaline.com for all information about Junaline so you
I
can see
want to,
more of our
yeah,
classes.
well, actually, yeah. And if those of you also, I don't know, just come to me now. I guess more of this idea of judging myself. I wrote a book. I wrote a very easy to read, digestible book. It's about dating. It's actually for women who are looking for love. Okay. But it's
Mm.
called, yeah, and it's called Dating for Expats because it's like, it's not necessarily centered about expat women, but it's about you're a single woman looking for love.
Mhm.
and judging all your choices, whatever that is. And that's kind of like part of my journey in the past. So I wrote a very short ebook about it. You can find it on Kindle, and it's called Dating for Expats. And it's actually, you can look more about it in my website. It's called Dating for Expats.
We'll put the link on the comment section. So check it out, Dating for Expats, and just stop judging you. It's just as simple as that, right, Junaline? That's what you
Promise?
say. Like you said, just start doing it. Just start
Promise?
and just asking questions.
Or actually, for every judgment that you make, I will make $1. Is that okay? I'll put it in a judgment jar.
And let's see what happens. So thank you so much, Junaline, for creating so much space for everyone who are listening in and who will be listening in. And thank you for being a marvelous contribution to the world. Thank you. Maraming
Thank you. Maraming
salamat.
salamat. Thank
Maraming
you. Thank
salamat.
you,
Thank you everyone for being
everybody.
with us today.
Maraming salamat, my kababayans. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Bye for now, everyone.